There's a pig on this farm who won't go near one specific person. Not the vet, not a stranger. Someone she's seen 100 times. She'll walk straight past everyone else in the yard, calm, curious, even affectionate. But the second this one person steps into view, she freezes, backs away. Sometimes she won't eat until they're gone. Nobody trained her to do that. Nobody taught her to be afraid. So the question is simple, and it's a little unsettling. What does she remember, and how long does a pig hold on to something like that? Most people think of pigs the way they think of a garbage disposal with legs. Something that eats, sleeps, and doesn't think much beyond the next meal. But pigs aren't running on a blank slate. They're running on something closer to a filing system. And somewhere in that system, there's a folder with your name on it. Here's where it starts. Researchers who study pig cognition have found that pigs are capable of individual recognition. Not species recognition, not human as a category. Individual recognition of specific people based on voice, scent, and appearance. Which means when a new person walks into a pen, the pig isn't just registering human. She's running a comparison. Do I know this one? Have we met? That alone should change how you think about the next person who walks past a pig pen. But recognition is only step one. The strange part is what the pig does with that information afterward. Because recognizing a face is one thing. Deciding how to feel about that face is another. And that's where things get uncomfortable. Studies on pig behavior have repeatedly pointed to something researchers call associative learning. In plain terms, a pig connects a specific person with a specific outcome. Feed you, and she associates you with food. Handle her roughly, even once, and she associates you with danger. The pig isn't judging your character. She's building a prediction model. And once that model says this person is a threat, it does not reset overnight. Here's the uncomfortable part. That memory isn't vague, it's specific. Evidence from animal behavior research suggests pigs can distinguish between a person who has treated them well and a person who has treated them poorly, and they respond to each one differently, even when both people are standing in the same yard, wearing the same clothes, moving the same way. Which means the pig avoiding that one specific person on this farm isn't confused. She's not spooked by a smell or a shadow. She may be reacting to a memory that has a face attached to it. Now stop for a second and think about what that actually requires. To avoid one specific person out of everyone she encounters, a pig has to recognize that individual, retrieve a memory tied to them, and generate a stress response before anything even happens. That's not a simple reflex. That's closer to what we'd call anticipation. Imagine meeting 30 new people over the course of a week. Most of them blur together, but the one who was kind to you, you'd remember. And the one who hurt you, physically or otherwise, you'd remember faster and you'd remember longer. Fear tends to stick harder than comfort does. That's not a flaw in memory, it's a survival feature. Apparently, pigs aren't wired all that differently. But here's where it gets stranger. It isn't only about what happened directly to the pig. Researchers studying social learning in pigs have found evidence that pigs can pick up on stress and emotional cues from other pigs around them. Which raises an uncomfortable possibility. A pig doesn't necessarily need to be mistreated herself to become wary of a person. She may learn it by watching how another pig reacts. Think about what that means on a working farm. One rough interaction with one animal doesn't stay contained to that one animal. It can ripple outward. The herd doesn't need a memo. They're already watching. So how long does this actually last? This is where scientists are more careful, because long-term memory studies specifically on negative associations in pigs are still limited, and researchers are cautious about overstating how many months or years a specific fear can persist. But what we do know is that pigs show excellent short and mid-term memory for both people and locations, and behavioral responses tied to negative experiences have been observed to persist well beyond a single encounter. In other words, this isn't a memory that fades in an afternoon. Now bring this back to the farm. If a pig can hold on to who scared her, that means every interaction is doing more than completing a task. It's making a deposit, positive or negative, into an account she is quietly keeping. Feed her gently, speak in a steady voice, move slowly around her, and you're not just getting through the day without incident. You're building a version of yourself that she trusts. Move fast, Grab roughly, raise your voice, and you're building the opposite. And unlike a bad first impression with a stranger you'll never see again, this is someone she may see every single day for years. That's the twist most people miss. We tend to think of animal fear as something that happens in the moment and then evaporates. But if pigs are forming individual associations that hold up over time, then every rough interaction isn't an isolated event. It's a small, permanent edit to how that animal experiences her entire environment. And here's the part that reframes everything. That pig who won't approach one specific person on this farm isn't being stubborn, she's not being difficult. She may be doing exactly what a highly social, highly perceptive animal is supposed to do. Remembering who is safe, remembering who isn't, and adjusting her entire behavior around information she gathered herself without anyone telling her to. So the next time a pig backs away from someone specific or won't settle down until that person leaves, don't write it off as random nervousness. Ask a different question instead. What does she remember, and what did that person do to earn it? Because somewhere behind that stare, there might be a much longer memory than we ever gave her credit for. And once you realize that, it's hard to walk past a pig pen the same way again. This is Barn Mind. If you want to see what the animals around us are really capable of, subscribe to Barn Mind. Because the more we learn about them, the harder it becomes to call them simple.